So tonight we are going to be having some smoked sausages for dinner. We're very fortunate to have a couple of good butchers here in McLaren Vale in South Australia who prepare lovely sausages. And so what we've got in these sausages, these are actually Italian. They've got plenty of fat, like good pork content, so that keeps them nice and moist when they're cooking. Another nice sausage that you can use that have a high fat content are Toulouse sausages. We've just used the normal beef sausages as well, and they smoke beautifully and they're very flavoursome. So just a great simple little way to start playing with a barrel smoker. For the smoking mix, I use a little smoking box. I'll be having a look inside the barrel and showing you how we set all that up in just a moment. But I've got a little smoking box and I prepare a smoking mix in this box. Inside the barrel I've got a simple gas ring, and I light that up, and then on top of that I've got a stainless steel basket with holes right around it. This is the method that I've chosen. There's lots of ways that you can do it. I've found this is a good way, it works for me and I'm happy with it. Inside this little basket I've placed simple ceramic heat beads. So basically they act like a heat diffuser for me, so instead of direct flame onto the smoker box, it just has a heat diffuser layer, and it just gives me a nice even spread of heat onto my smoker box to get the burn nice and even. The first thing that I do, because we're cooking in a wooden barrel, which is a fairly counterintuitive way to cook, what happens when you heat wood is that it shrinks. And so I don't want this to shrink too much, otherwise smoke's going to leak out between the staves. So I like to keep it nice and moist on the inside and outside when I'm cooking. I just simply chuck a bit of water around the bottom. It's a wine barrel so it won't leak out. If you've got lots of wine, I suppose you could put some wine in there as well. But I just keep a bit of wine in the bottom like that. That's the first thing that I do to introduce some humidity into the cooking environment. Next thing we need to do is light up the burner. And let's hope it goes without blowing my head off. Probably a bit of water in those other ones. That'll dry out pretty quick. Okay, so we've got that light. We want to place our heat beads down on top of that. And then we place our smoking mix on top of that. And then I've got out of my Weber barbecue, I'm just putting in a grill rack in here, and then onto that I'm putting a drip tray and humidity tray that I can put some more water into, and that will stop my that will keep the cooking environment nice and moist. So I'm just going to tip some water into my tray here that sits over the top of the smoker. That just keeps some humidity into the barrel and some humidity into the food so it doesn't dry out. I've got a couple of racks that I've made up that I cook on, so they go in next. Then on top of those I place my sausages, so I'll just pop those on top here. And that's that, so nice and easy. Because I like to know what's going on in my barrel the easy way. Obviously the more you open the lid, the more temperature will escape and smoke, so I want to keep all that in there. So I just use a simple little device to measure the temperature in the barrel and into the food that I'm cooking. So this is just a little iGrill Mini. It's a little Bluetooth, has a little Bluetooth setup probe that goes into it, and then it transmits via Bluetooth to whatever device I've downloaded the app onto. It works fine on smartphone or on Apple devices. So I'll just set that up here on the grill. I just want to know what the ambient temperature is on the grill, so I've simply got an old champagne cork, drilled a hole through, popped the probe through, and then I'm just going to put that right like that so it sits next to the sausages, and then the other end plugs around into the little transmitter, the little Bluetooth transmitter. And then we can turn it on, hopefully. See a light. Lights, camera, action. Look at that. And then what we should be able to do is get that hooked up in a sec onto my iPad if everything goes according to plan. So I've turned this little device on. It gives a little flashing green light every now and then, as you can just see. And then it appears on my iPad and it'll start to log the internal temperature, which at the moment is 20. and I can simply set up the cook that I want, what I'm doing. So I've got a preferences in there, which I'll do in a moment, a custom preference, and I can set up my barrel smoker, and that's a fantastic little thing. So I think it's under range, wine barrel smoker, and there I'm away. So I've set up myself a lower and upper temperature parameters that I want, and it'll notify me when it goes below or above those temperatures. So it's just it takes the guesswork out of cooking, and then once it's up to temperature I'll turn the gas down and just leave it going at a nice low temperature. So the other one I've done, I've put another probe on here as well. Don't have to do this, it's just because I like mucking around with stuff. I've put that inside the sausage just to see how long it's going to take to cook. I want that up to 71 degrees, and so you can see both the probes here now showing me the internal temperature of the sausage and the internal temperature of the barrel smoker. Of course, if I shut the lid of the barrel smoker, it might help to get the internal temperature up a bit quicker. So I've shut the lid, got my little chimney sitting on top there. Takes sometimes about half an hour for the smoke to start doing its thing, and that'll just come up to temperature and that'll start cooking away nicely. What I'll do as the cook goes along, I'll put a little bit of water around the outside of the barrel just to keep it nice and moist. One of the things that you can do just to keep your barrel nice and moist to stop the staves drying out is simply put some water in a watering can, and you can give it a water. Best if you, of course on a really hot day it's good. Today it's pretty cold so it doesn't really matter. So you can just water it all around and keep it moist while the smoking's happening, and it just helps to stop it from drying out. Once the barrel smoker's been going for about half an hour, you'll start to get smoke coming out of the smoker box. So you're after that thin blue smoke, which is great, that little blue-grey sort of smoke colour. That typically seems to last an hour or a bit more, I found, out of that little smoker box that we're using. At the moment the internal temperature of the barrel is 97 degrees Celsius. It's a pretty cold day here today in McLaren Vale in South Australia, so it's taking a little while to pop up to temperature. In summer they get up real quick. And our food is just cooking away really nicely inside at the moment, so I'm looking forward to some yummy sausages. So I finished smoking the food tonight. It's been a really cold winter's day, so it took a while for the smoker to get up to temp, but it ended up being about 118 degrees Celsius. It sat there quite nicely. You'll be able to see a photo on this video of the log, the data log of what the barrel looked like, and also of the internal sausage temperature. But how good do these look? Absolutely smoked and cooked beautifully. Lovely colour. I put some chicken drumsticks in there at the same time. They've had, from the time I actually started the smoker to taking them off now, it's been just on 2 hours, and the time the smoker got up to a good sort of cooking temperature, I reckon there's probably about an hour and a half of actual, higher temperature cooking there. The smoke lasted about an hour and 20 minutes today, so it's had a really nice exposure to the smoke. Gorgeous smells. I wish I could post them on YouTube. So we're going to enjoy this tonight, and I hope it works out really well for you when you're cooking your lovely food in your barrel smoker. Thanks for watching, and look out for more of my videos.